Manny, welcome back to Raith TV. How are you?
Yeah, good. Been a good week after a real good result, and obviously we've been in training, recovering the players, and trying to get ready for another big one.
3 points makes everything look much better, doesn't it?
Well, I think so. But for me, I've got to try and look beyond that, and it's a lot of the performances we're looking at. I'm trying to what do we look like in the performances, in out of possession, different things. So we've looked at all that, and it's a lot of it's been good, and there's a lot of it still needs improved.
Spoke to a few of the players after the game on Saturday who were telling us that they were back in on Sunday to get prepared for that game against Tuesday. How difficult is it for a manager when you're coming in after a defeat like that to try and find the balance of raising spirits and keeping everybody high and focusing on the game on Tuesday versus also going through the game against Falkirk and ironing out some of the disappointments?
I think when you what I said to the players was, when we lost the game, you made a team change their whole philosophy because of the way we played against them, and the game became a bit of a 50-50 break of the ball, and sometimes that game can go anyway. It doesn't become as tactical and structured because anything can happen. You're going on luck, a lot of things. We probably need to be a bit better at both sides of the game on that day, probably defending. Maybe we need to be a bit better at the top end of the pitch. But what I said to the players was, look, you made them change, you made them. We haven't won this game, but you were on the right track. We know that we're going to be hard to play against, first and foremost, and teams will know that. So it wasn't, I think they had a brilliant performance just before it, and we got through in the cup. So you can't, in this game, we hate losing and we don't accept it, but you've got to try and get over it quickly and move to the next thing.
Absolutely, and we certainly did on Tuesday night. When you've got you speak to players and sometimes the supporters as well, and you think to yourself, God, with a big game against the Pars on the Saturday, the last thing we need is a game on Tuesday night. But actually, it's probably the best thing for the footballers because they just want to get out, play, and we saw that within the first 5 minutes of the game on Tuesday night. That reaction.
Yeah, I thought the boys were outstanding in the game. I think it's been tough games since I've came in. We've been away from home. We've had Falkirk, played the top two teams. We've got a derby. We're away from home again. So it's been difficult games, but ones that we've stood up to, and ones that we need to keep standing up to. But yeah, the performance was really good the other night. I think we did, as I said, we overloaded well at the back line. I thought we pressed well at the top line. We got some details right in the game, got some not so right, but the culture in the team, the way they're running for each other, the way they're working for each other, subs coming on, making an impact. It's a group that wants to do well, and that's the most important thing.
You have to go all the way back to November 2021 for the last time Raith Rovers won 3-0 away from home, and it was against Hamilton, away at Hamilton. So for the Rovers supporters, that second half performance, you sometimes get carried away scoring 2 early goals so quickly, and you expect it could be you start picking numbers out and thinking this is what it could be, but actually that second half performance was one of the most comfortable we've seen. It must have been really pleasing for yourself on the touchline.
Clean sheet, they're so important, and everybody talks about scoring goals and this and that, but you need to keep a clean sheet. You can't, I've said it, you'll probably hear me saying it many times, you cannot be a good attacking team till you're a good defensive team. You need to have a structure in there to play off, and we've got a clean sheet, and we need to go to the game tomorrow and we need to try and do the same again, get a clean sheet. It's so important, and the players know that, and do a lot of work on it. And so I was pleased with the game, but as I said, it's gone in my mind now, and all I'm focused on is the weekend.
Stats and data play such an important part in football now, and one of the things that we're seeing a lot of is that players are running a lot further. Players are putting a lot more intensity runs in. Even on that Falkirk game last Saturday, which we were beaten, you still look at the stats and see how far players ran. You've talked a lot about standards that you want to bring to this football club. Is that one of the big standards that you're looking for?
I just think that's a given in a football team. I think it's not. I'm not asking anyone to beat 3 players and stick it in the top corner. I'm asking people to perform at their maximum and give everything they have. You won't always win. You won't always play well, but you can run to your maximum every time. So that's all I ask. The players have jumped on board. They know what's expected. They know that we don't want to fall below that, or we won't fall below that, because there's other players that will just come in and play. But they've been great, every single one of them, and they all want to do well, and it's never been an issue, the players, because you can tell that they enjoy it, they want to do well. It's a terrific group in there.
Games are coming thick and fast, and you've mentioned that. Tuesday night's already a distant memory. You've been focused on the challenge of tomorrow against Dunfermline. What are you expecting to get from Dunfermline? What challenges are we going to be coming up against?
Tough game. A new manager's went in there. He'll be desperate to stamp his style on the game, if you like. I think he wants to really play with the ball. In a derby, is he going to do that, or is he going to change? We'll have to wait and see. Does he change it up and go a bit longer, or we don't know. We've just got to prepare for what we can prepare for, make sure that we're right, make sure that we come and we give our best version of ourselves. That's all we are focusing on. They're a really difficult game, good team, good players. It's a big club, so difficult game for us, but we'll have to go there and be at our best to come away with anything.
You've played in some huge derbies as a player yourself, been involved with Highland derbies, Dundee derbies, Old Firm derbies, and even the Weirentine derby as well with Middlesbrough. Does that make a difference? This is your first experience of the Fife derby. Does that make a difference to how you set up or how things are going, or is it just about the game of football?
It should be just about the game of football. It's not a good indictment on if you get up more for one game and another. You've got to be that 100% every game. Every game matters the same. 3 points doesn't change because it's a derby or because it's a bigger team you're playing. The 3 points doesn't change. So the players know that, and they know that we want to win every game. So I don't look at it in any different way, rather than we need to go and try and win the game. We know it's going to be difficult, but we need to go and try and win the game.
As a player, did you relish these games, the bigger games? Did you look at these games as an opportunity to be in the mire and really get stuck in about it?
No, not really. If you know me as a player, it's a long time ago, and nobody's interested in me as a player, to be fair, anymore. That's all long gone. But no, I would like to think I was pretty hard working, and every game mattered the same.
When you look at your squad for Saturday against Dunfermline, any updates on any of the injuries that we've had recently?
No, Jack Hamilton's still seeing a specialist, so we don't know what we're doing. We don't know where we're going to be with that. Obviously, the other two are still out. Louis.
And Finlay picked up a knock on Tuesday night. How's he looking?
Yeah, well, that's something we'll need to make a decision on tomorrow. So we'll see how he is, which is a bit unfortunate.
You mentioned yourself as a player and as a manager, you're just every game should matter the exact same. But from the supporters' point of view, it's a Fife derby. It's an opportunity to get one up on that lot along the road there. How important is it? You've mentioned the fans, the travelling support on Tuesday night, but it's going to be a big crowd, good atmosphere. How important is it going to be for the players and yourselves to hear that noise coming from behind the goals at East End Park?
Huge, and they will be a massive part of it. So they need to know that yous are going to be huge for us. We need it. We need you there in voice, and we need you to help the players. And I'm sure they will be there. You've seen the amount of numbers that travelled the other night. That'd have been terrific. And we just make sure we get as much as all of us here as possible. And it'll be great to see that stand full.
Brilliant, Billy. Thank you very much. I'm absolutely buzzing for it.
Thank you.